Hi guys, Dave here for Southern Land Solo. Thanks for tuning in. I picked up this old World War II Brit Army backpack, and I'd just like to share some of the features with you and one of the modifications that can be made to it. Now, the first time I came across this was when I was in high school. I was in an army surplus store and I saw one. They were quite cheap back then, and I picked one up and used it as a high school bag. And it's got a lot of room in there, so I was able to carry all my books and everything in there. And it was a really good bag, and I loved it to death. I really did. And it had a carry strap that hooks into there, which I'll show you. The cool thing about it was, by the end of high school, it was absolutely covered in writing and drawings. You know, you'd be sitting there doing your work, and your mates would sneak it out from under your seat and draw pictures and stuff all over it. So it was kind of cool. A lot of history in there. But some of the features. It's pretty much a basic pack. I think it's about, just guessing, 15, 18, 20 liters, something like that, in capacity. It can be used as a backpack, which is what it was originally designed for. And you can do a quick jimmy system by putting a strap in there, and you turn it into a haversack. 2 buckles at the front. Everything is brass. All the metal on it is brass. Really nice. The buckles down there are, they do fit it, but they didn't actually come with it. And it's got two buckles up here, and then your pack straps are buckled on like that as well. If anybody can help me, anybody that's watching it, there's no date on the inside of this, or there is a little bit of writing there, but it's so faded, can't distinguish it at all. So what I've got here on the back, the only thing that can give me any sort of history to it are these 3 colors. They look like regimental colors: green, red, green again. So I'm thinking about the New Zealand infantry, but I don't think this is theirs. This has probably come over as British Army surplus. Could be New Zealand surplus, because we issued this stuff as well back in World War II. But green, red, green. If anybody knows those regimental colors, it'll just give me a little bit of a history of this item. I'd be very interested in finding out. Just let me know in the comments column if you could. Well, let's look on the inside. Two straps holding it down, that's it. And then you have these 2 flaps here. They just fold over, and to some extent, a little, they help hold the gear in and keep a little bit of the rain out as well. And I've just tied a bit of bank line between the 2 just to hold them into position. And that's it there. One big empty pouch, nothing in there. The small pack, this was called the large pack. The small pack had cloth compartments in there, but the big pack like this, the large pack, just came as is. So, brief history on it as well. I used to think this was called the 1937 pack, and technically 1937 pattern pack. Technically it's just called the large backpack, and its proper name, I believe, would be the 1908 large backpack. This pack here hasn't changed in design since pre-World War I. They used this pack unchanged all the way through World War I, and then all the way into World War II. And so technically it's not 1937 pattern. It's the same fabric and it can jive up with it, but it's actually goes right back to pre-World War I. So that's why I'm also interested in finding the history of this. Oh, jump around a little bit as I do. We've got the green, red, green stripes. There's also some numbers here. Faded, they're pink now, probably used to be red. 24720, 24720, just written across the top, and a big number 2 there. So, and a orange spot. I don't know, maybe it was owned by an army artist or something. I don't know, there's all sorts of colors in this thing. But I'd be very interested if anybody knows anything about it. Now, setting it up as a haversack, this is what's cool about it for budget bushcraft, the video series I'm doing. Is in New Zealand you get the pack and you get that strap. That's it. There are some backpack straps here, removable, but they don't come with a pack. This strap here is part of the 1937 pattern British Army webbing. That's what this guy is. but they throw it in here so that this pack is immediately usable. Remembering again, it doesn't come with these pack straps. So you hook these on hook this in through here. I've cleaned all the brass up. I just love it. I love the khaki and I love the old brass. These two buckles that it's going into are fixed to the pack, but they're not actually made for it. They're actually not actually made for this strap here. But they work fine. That's why I use them. And there you have it, a haversack. Budget Bushcraft is very good. It's a haversack, and if you've got the back straps, then it's a pack as well. But as a haversack, as you can see, pretty massive, pretty big size. But you know, for budget to have one item that does both, that's pretty good. And give it a good wash and wax it, and you've got a waterproof backpack. So that's what that does there. Let's look at the pack straps. These turn up now and then in the Army surplus stores, and the brass buckles turn up even less frequently. But there is a modification you can do that if you haven't got these brass buckles, which are hard to get hold of, then you can still set this up as a backpack. Okay, so here's what we can do. If we get the backpack and it only has the carry strap, so it's a haversack only, how can we make it into a backpack again? As long as we got that item and that tab sewn on, come around that way, sorry. As long as we have this big flap and that tab sewn on, we're sweet. Oh, and the third thing we need is these buckles attached here. So sometimes you'll find these things cut off as they've been modified, and the Army surplus store sells them as is, but most of them should have that stuff complete. So that buckle, that tab, and that belt loop. Two things: get hold of one of these Army straps, or make one, and it doesn't look that hard to make. Take into account you don't really need that brass hardware. You can do it just by sewing it together. So how do you make one of these? Well, it's just webbing strap, and it's about 1 mil to 2 mil thick, I would say. So it really comes down to just the sizing. The width of this is, got it written down here on my cheat sheet, the width across here is 50 millimeters. And the width across the smaller one is 25 millimeters. So 50 millimeters wide, just a strap like that, webbing strap, by 480 mil long, and then 25 mil wide by 380 mil long. And you don't need the brass buckles or the brass ends. You don't need the brass piece there. If you can get those two, put them together, just imagine them coming together down like that, and you just sew them across from each other like that. There will be an angle to get right. This brass buckle allows it to go at like a 90-degree angle, or like that, which is about 135 degree, I believe. That's probably the angle that you want to sew them together. Then just sew them on top of each other, and as long as you got the widths, you can then hook it up into the pack. What you do is, for the bottom connection, you cut off these two buckles. Now, turning it into a backpack means you're cutting off these buckles, and you're not going to be able to make it a haversack anymore. What you would need to do is take the haversack strap that comes with it and just sew it onto there. I would sew it onto towards the back. I wouldn't sew it onto the middle because it's so wide. It's going to make it stick out quite far. I would sew it towards the back seam, down the side like that, closer towards this edge. Or maybe even on a bit of an angle so that it hangs a bit better. But you've cut those two buckles off, and you end up with that guy there. And get these things out. And then you just reassemble it. That goes through like that. Put the buckle on first, then put it through the loop. Then bring the tab and just put it back through the buckle again. Okay, so what do we do about the tab? We needed no big brass buckles, and now we haven't got them anymore. Well, here in New Zealand, I found a buckle that fit. It's from Macpac, our outdoor supply store. Macpac, pretty good brand. A little bit more fashionable these days, but they still have some pretty good outdoor stuff. And this is just a big plastic buckle. Copy the original. This is going to go on the same way as the original, as that. Now, the Macpac one I found was big enough that that brass end piece that stops it from fraying could fit through the buckle. I have got another buckle down there I thought would fit it, which is an aftermarket one, but it wasn't. The Macpac was big enough. So it just slips right through like that, and then through there, and that's it. I'm not going to be able to use the snap feature, but my idea is just to get this up and running. And I think it makes it stronger as well, because this strap comes over the snap and down the other side, so it's going to hold everything together quite nicely. Now I need to get the positioning right. This is the slow part. This is just trial and error. You just muck around with it until you can get it. I think that's about it. So that's it there. Of the two slots, we go in the closest one to the snap. Go in the center one there, or closest to the center, come around, go through the other center. So she just comes out like that. Then we do this, we follow the same track in the opposite direction. This is where it gets tricky, because now you're trying to squeeze through two of them to that small slot. Standing up in front of a camera at the same time just adds to the fun. So up through like that, and we're going to follow that first strap all the way through again. Very, very tight getting it in there, but it does go in. Just keep working it. There she goes. Oh, man, that was a mission. Cool. So here's the original, and here's our modification. As you can see, they both go through the same way. So all you really need is a buckle that's kind of like that, that's wide enough to take a 50mm strap. A little bit wider is better. The buckle, having the slots a bit wider, is better than having it a bit narrower, because you've got to get these brass pieces through. And on the bottom, there we have it there. I actually got these off another backpack, because I have two of these. So the end result is these would be gone. You would have cut these off to use them on the bottom. but it can be done. So if you get these straps and they seem to be available at the moment, then you're fine. All you need to do is go to MacPack and get these, or local hardware store or craft shop or something. You might be able to find some buckles that have that width. And then you're away. You just put the time into it and it comes out. Considering I've got this empty, so it's not going to sit very well. Let's get that out of the way. Right, there you go. Pretty cool item. Plenty of room. Pretty cool there. Yeah, that's about all I got for you. So keep in mind, guys, if anybody recognizes those, I'm thinking they're regimental colors. If anybody recognizes them and the number going across them, then I'd really appreciate learning a little bit about this one. Right, that's it. That's my British Army World War II large backpack. Thanks for watching, guys.